Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are the Robots After All. We're Tom and Andrew, and today we're talking about episode 4 of Obi-Wan. I think both of us just finished it not too long ago and have very underwhelming opinions about it. So, Tom, you can kick it off. I'd love to hear your just kind of initial reactions and then kind of dive into some of the details.
Sure. I mean, I guess we can talk about episode 1 through 4. Is that what you said? Or did you just say four?
Oh, have we not actually talked about this at all yet?
No, man, this is it. Man, this is all of it.
I am lost in my own space-time continuum because I thought we already did an episode on this. So, okay, yeah. So I guess we got to do episodes 1 through 4.
Yeah. Episode 1 through 4. And how do you think about what do you think about the Star Wars intro? How they do like that thing where they show all of the characters flashing? Don't they show like a mouser droid or something?
I think they show a probe droid.
Yeah, they show like some random droid that's like, why are you? It's this dramatic intro, and they show like a dumb droid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, so I actually I liked that on The Mandalorian. That was the first show I think I saw they did that, and it was like it like got me excited when I saw kind of all those like characters and whatever, and it was like, oh, a new Star Wars. But now every subsequent new Star Wars thing that comes out, they use that intro for. So it's kind of just like this is
whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
yeah, from the get-go, the first episode, I was a little underwhelmed. It's kind of like the building blocks, and then they introduced the Jawa, and I was hoping there was going to be more Jawas in the future, and there hasn't been any. I really like Jawas, so I was looking forward to that, but it was fun to get a little bit of a longer Jawa experience. And one thing I actually should bring up in the beginning is like you made a good point of like Disney is making like a lot of these movies based on like one-liners from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, so this one is like you said, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And then with Rogue One, what was it? I forget something about the plans.
Yeah, it was like many good rebels or many good soldiers died, getting us these plans.
Right.
Trying to get the Death Star plans.
Yeah, so it's kind of like based around these little quotes in the movie, and I'm sure Han Solo movie, I mean, that was just full of like crap like that. Anyway, so when I went into this, I had no really idea that they were going to do the Leia route. Like, I didn't know that was going to be the arc. So I was kind of like, I was like, oh, it makes total sense. Why wouldn't that be? And when they bring her in here, there's some like weird hacky stuff with her introduction, but it was kind of cool to see some of the old actors and see where Obi-Wan is right now, and he's old and dumb and losing his powers, his force powers.
Yeah, I think he purposely cut himself off from the Force, right? Or no?
It seems like it.
That he could hide. I think he was trying to hide from all the Jedis being killed off.
Yeah, so I guess that force sensitivity maybe disguised him from other, like the Inquisitors, which are introduced into this as well.
So one thing right off the bat that I kind of rolled my eyes at was like, we're on Tatooine again. But then I kind of quickly forgave it because it's like, okay, well, you actually meet Obi-Wan on Tatooine, so it kind of makes sense they're showing a little bit of like how he got there. But I feel like they use Tatooine in every Star Wars show.
Yes. Yeah, did they use it in the other ones?
Mandalorian, it's exclusively takes place on well, at least the Boba Fett one was like almost exclusively on Tatooine. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Oh, well.
And then you find Rey on Tatooine.
No, wasn't it? That was like a different planet. It was like a same.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was something else.
Oh,
It was some other random sand planet. I think. Like, I don't know. Who cares? Those movies were trash.
Yeah, I liked the first one when it came out. I was into it at the time, and then when I saw where they went with it,
yeah, it was a little rough. I agree though. I was really into the first one, and I was kind of pumped when I saw her get the lightsaber for the first time. I was like, whoa, cool! This movie's cool.
Well, they did a couple of things really. I mean, not to get into The Force Awakens, but they did BB-8 right. I thought he was awesome. I like Poe Dameron a lot as kind of the new Han Solo type. Like they did a couple of things pretty well, and then they just squandered it. But anyway, so yeah, Obi-Wan's on Tatooine, which means Jawas, but then we were quickly off Tatooine. No more Jawas. Tom's sad boy.
I'm glad that Mandalorian had a lot of Jawas. There's a lot of Jawa action in Mandalorian. Although I'm kind of upset that he like annihilates some of them with his rifle blaster.
Oh yeah, the disintegration thing.
Yeah, it's like
Which is another thing that they used. I think they cut. It was a callback to a single line when Darth Vader hires all the bounty hunters for capturing Han Solo. He goes, "And those disintegrations," and you're like, "Oh, disintegrations? That's a thing." And then in the Mandalorian, they're like, "Let me show you what disintegrations do." He's doing it like all the time.
Let me show you what disintegrations do. But yeah, I mean, the second episode started to pick up for me because then they're getting out of the sand planet. They're going to like this cool little city, and Leia's kidnapped, and he's going to rescue her on try to help out the father figure guy from that home planet of hers that I can't even remember.
Coruscant?
Alderaan.
Oh, Alderaan. JK.
Yeah. So she gets captured pretty haphazardly. The bad kidnappers, they can barely catch her. That was a little gripe of mine.
She's a little scamp.
I guess she knows the woods, man. She knows the ins and outs of that woods. She's eluded them for a lot longer than I thought she would. But yeah, the city planet is kind of neat. I mean, the show follows that stuff that I've mentioned to you already, is that how they always try to throw in these one-liners of like, oh, what is it?
I don't know where you're going with that.
Just like the one-liners that Star Wars always does, like I'd rather eat that than a harder thing. You know, it's like
they throw out an obscure reference as if it's like a common jargon,
like made up words. So there's a lot of that, but it's fun, whatever. So the city scene is kind of interesting. I don't know. What did you think of the first two episodes?
I had no idea what to expect, so it was a turn my brain off and kind of just see what the show was about type thing, where I wasn't like super analytical at the time. So I didn't really mind. I guess I shouldn't say I didn't mind, but I kind of wrote off some of like the annoying aspects of like Leia's character when she was younger. Plus, she's like a little kid, so she's just automatically going to be a little bit annoying. But I thought it was cool that they were kind of going in the direction of, showing why and when Obi-Wan helped her in the past, where she would have, eventually kind of asked R2 to send that message to him in the first or in the fourth, in A New Hope. So I was in. I mean, it kind of captured me. At the time that I watched it, the first two episodes were out. So I kind of just watched those back to back, and I don't really know the separation between those two very well. But I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah, the second one was, I mean, they introduced the Grand Inquisitor, and he dies in the second episode by what's her name?
Third sister.
Yeah, one of the sisters. What the heck is her name?
Riva or something.
Riva. I actually have them all up here. Yeah, Inquisitor Riva, and apparently she got a lot of hate from Star Wars fans on her social media accounts, which is kind of messed up. I saw that there's like a lot of like racist stuff, an article about it. I'm like, come on, guys, it's like it's Star Wars. Even like Ewan McGregor put out like a video, like a brief video talking about it.
I need to look into that. That's insane. I didn't realize.
Yeah, she had apparently got like a ton of like hateful messages
for something that she did in the show.
I have no idea. I think it's just like something about ruining Star Wars. Says, oh yeah, some using, according to Entertainment Online, Moses Ingram, the actor, shared some of the vile messages she had received on Instagram, some using racist language and questioning why she was hired. She said there were hundreds of them. Yeah, pretty annoying. I don't understand. I think she's awesome. I think she's a cool character.
Well, I wanted to actually talk about her because one of the points that I wanted to bring up, I think, may have prevented this, but I feel like So I do like her character as well. I think that she's a cool character, but
Mm.
I do have a problem with the way that they've written her a little bit. In terms of the fact that she kills the Grand Inquisitor like so quickly. There's very, very little build up to that. The other thing that I think I would really like to see, because she's the main antagonist aside from obviously Darth Vader. I want to see her backstory a little bit. Like, just give us something. Like, give us some of her motivations as to why she is behaving the way that she's behaving, because she kind of is just pure evil if you were to, without any kind of motivation. Like, her character's not very multi-dimensional rather. She's just evil. Like, she's just like, I want to please Darth Vader. We got to get Obi-Wan. That's literally the
Right.
beginning and the end of her arc right now. Like, she doesn't like have any even just some flashbacks as to like why she would have been after this or whatever.
She wasn't in the beginning part of like when they flash back to the kids, that one woman trying to save the kids.
Oh, was that? Did I actually miss like a huge thing? And that's.
I don't know. I thought that maybe
But even that, like, why would she be mad at Obi-Wan if like?
Yeah,
like,
maybe
save them or something?
because I can't remember why they even show that. No.
I think that all that they were showing was just they were showing the time period how I took that was like they're just trying to show you where it takes place in the story, because
Right.
everybody who's a Star Wars fan knows about Order 66, and like they're showing Order 66 getting executed, which is
Okay.
similar to like showing Batman's parents dying. It's like something has to be in every Star Wars thing.
I think they mentioned it a little bit in episode 4 when she's like interrogating Leia, like this poor little girl.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
That was weird. And I actually do like Leia's character, but I think it does go back to some of the writing. Like episode 2 is just like has a lot of annoying like instances to get the story going. Like she runs away from Obi-Wan and is like, oh, now I'm running through the city and they're trying to get me. This is supposed to be viewers, this is supposed to be intense and stressful situation for you to watch.
Yeah.
And then the parkour scene of her the Inquisitor Reva trying to get to Obi-Wan, and she doesn't even get there in time. That she keeps showing her jumping from building to building, like all this drama going on, and she can't even reach him in time. And then so there's some silly stuff going on, but
then the one saving grace of the show
uh,
is when we see Darth Vader for the first time.
yeah,
That was done really well.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I like the end of Mandalorian, Luke showing up, like huge nostalgia bombs. For me, that was like one where they showed him, and I was like, please have James Earl Jones' voice. Please have James Earl Jones' voice. And then he starts talking, and I was like, wow, that was epic. And then the very next like kind of scene that you see him in, where he's just killing random people in a town trying to find Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Like that nostalgia to like, oh, it's new Star Wars again, where they're just gonna take artistic license and do whatever they want with the characters.
Yeah, him killing people was a little dark, and he just straight up snaps that like the son's like neck, like trying to get Obi-Wan's attention, and Obi-Wan is just like in shock from it all.
And I feel like if it was all they had to do to make it very realistically Darth Vader's character, they could have even had him doing that with the villagers or whatever. But like he should have had some kind of dialogue where he's like, all this can stop if you'll just reveal yourself, or like something along those lines. I feel like he did a lot of that stuff with Luke, where he would like do something terrible, but then be like, if you join me or if you do what I want, then I'll stop doing this. But he didn't do any of that. He was just like mindlessly killing everybody.
Yeah.
Like, okay, next scene. And then he just like jumps on top of Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan's in like this, like it's such a bad set, honestly. It's like mounds of sand. It looks like it was like filmed in like a junkyard, like a I don't know, just like some kind of sand pit or whatever. And like it's all this open area, and Obi-Wan's like looking all around him or whatever, and then they just like do like a camera trick where like Darth Vader just like jumps on top of him with a lightsaber and starts like fighting him. There
was like, it lacked a lot of like kind of like I don't know, tension between the two of them. for me, especially that scene where he's kind of like bobbing in and out, trying to hide from him.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that, like the confrontation was like strong enough until the fire scene. I thought that was really well done, because I mean, you look at what Obi-Wan did to this guy. He freaking cut off 3 of his limbs and like left him for dead to die. It's like suffering death. So it was kind of neat to like see that contrast where he gets a little bit of that, the taste of it.
Yeah, that was neat.
It was pretty neat. But this definitely feels a lot like this is like Christian Hadingson's Anakin. Like when he was killing people, especially, that like felt like that version of Anakin, not like the older Anakin that we know from the original trilogies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're totally right. It had more of like the bratty,
like, I'm just gonna kill these people, no problem.
Yeah, petulant child kind of personality. Whereas I feel like the more refined Darth Vader as he gets older is like more selective with his rage and hatred.
Yeah, he's more of just like a menacing presence than just like grabbing everybody he can all the time. I mean, he does do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's more, but like part of what makes those moments in the original movies so special is like something has to happen to like jar it, and people are afraid of it always happening because they're like, what's going to set him off? But it's like the fear of him being set off. Whereas in this, it's kind of just like, even in the most recent episode, not to jump all over the place, but I'm gonna, he like, the third sister like fails him or whatever. He just starts choking her out, like, oh, you failed. It's time to choke.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing where it's just like, there was no like,
well, Darth Vader, you failed because you couldn't even get him to capture. You got away with just like a small thing of fire between you guys, and some lady blew it up. It's like you couldn't have just grabbed him through the fire again.
Kept him in the fire.
Yeah.
Also, how did his face not get damaged at all?
Who?
Obi-Wan's beard is fireproof.
I know. He was like
in the fire,
deep into that fire to not get.
He's like, oh, my shoulder's being burned.
Yeah, it's like,
like you would definitely melt away.
Melt away, yeah.
Well, look, it's Melt Disney World.
It's Melt Disney World. So yeah, they had their confrontation. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I was into it for the most part, but it definitely was a little underwhelming for me. And then the 4th episode, Leia gets captured again. This time by the Inquisitor, and she gets interrogated. She almost gets turned into like a tomb person, I guess, because
that was
Obi-Wan goes. I think so. Obi-Wan goes through like a hallway of all those people in like a wax tombs, whatever that shit is. So I'm assuming that's what it was. And then
the next show, I think they're encased in amber, and the next show that Disney's going to come out with is going to be like a Jurassic Park with Jedis.
That's what I was trying to think of, what that word was, amber from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. That'd be a good crossover. Jedi dinosaurs.
I can see it in my mind's eye.
Oh.
You touched on something that I want to just kind of rewind on for a second, though. I think when I watch these scenes, because like I think sometimes when you're watching them, like you're kind of like assessing them and kind of spot on in the moment, like this is like underwhelming or blah blah. I feel like I have like this like little kid reaction where I'm like, Darth Vader, go 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 man go, and then like afterwards I think about it and I'm like, oh, like that wasn't really that great. It's kind of like what happened with I mean, all the new Star Wars movies that I watched, when I watched them the first time, at worst, I was like, okay, well, these were just kind of like fun movies. And then in retrospect, I was like, wow, this is like truly terrible.
You're talking about the new trilogy?
Yeah. So like, not Rise of Skywalker. I've only watched Rise of Skywalker once, but I'm trying to think of what was the second one where Luke Skywalker dies. The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, yeah. The titles are very weird.
Yeah, so I watched that one in the theaters, and like, I was kind of just like, yeah, there was some moments in there that were a little like terrible, but for the most part, I had fun with it. And then I watched it again when I bought it on Blu-ray. I watched it again, and I was like, what was I thinking? This movie's awful. Because like I feel like the first time I watch it, I'm always trying to like, I'm just getting excited about seeing characters that we know and love, and like, having all that nostalgia.
I
It's
found it
hard to
so
watch it.
annoying because Mark Hamill is literally just playing Mark Hamill. He's not even playing Luke Skywalker. He's like playing Luke. He's playing like the Mark Hamill version, where it's like a social commentary on Luke Skywalker as a character, and it's
Yeah,
like the dumbest thing.
pretty sure he wore his own bathrobe as well for the.
Yeah, like even there's so many things like him doing this, the dust off thing, that made me so angry because
Yeah,
it's like it's just I don't well whatever. It's just bad.
I mean, Star Wars is. I was thinking about it when I was watching the most recent episode of Obi-Wan, and all I was thinking was just like Star Wars is it's just ruined.
Yeah.
It's just completely ruined. Like,
Well, even Obi-Wan, it's like I loved Obi-Wan in the prequels. I mean, everybody did. A lot of people did. And now in this, he's just like a beaten man. And doesn't have any, he's like his fun, quirky dialogue. He's had a little bit of it, but he was always so like sarcastic and would say like
yeah,
silly reactions to stuff. And
totally.
he's barely even doing that.
Yeah, I agree. They actually kind of gave him the Luke Skywalker treatment where he's like old and grizzled.
Yeah, he's like
It's like,
beaten down. He's sad. I mean, I get it. He's been through a lot of shit. So I
but
guess
even
it
when you
makes
meet the
sense.
old, but even when you meet the old Obi-Wan, he's still kind of like he's more with it. He's more like, I don't know. He's not as negative, and he's not as like, I don't know. I guess like this is like freshly divorced Obi-Wan
Yeah.
versus the divorce happened 30 years ago Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And I'm assuming at some point they're going to lead into him getting his powers back fully. I don't know, because how else would he confront if he confronts Darth Vader again? I'm assuming there's going to be another confrontation. I
Which
don't know.
can't really end in any kind of epic way because they
Yeah,
both
because yeah,
so there's no stakes really with this
yeah,
whole
you
show.
know what the outcome's going to be. So what else can they do unless it's like a final fight with Reba and he gets to like decapitate, like mutilate her?
And the racist fan goes wild.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's an important point too with a lot of these shows. Like, I think one of the things that made Boba Fett exciting in the first few episodes is, sure, some of the outcomes based upon the time period, but you're seeing a side story that you've never seen, and they can literally just like do a complete character developing story where it's like, oh, he lived with the Sand People for a while, didn't know that. Like, but in this, the characters that they've introduced, the only character that's kind of new that's interesting that they could really do anything with would either be the woman who plays the Viper from Game of Thrones. I can't think of her name in this, but her or the third sister. And neither one of those characters are developed all that well. So it's like, what could they really do? Because they're spending so much time showing us, the same boring Star Wars set pieces, like a hallway in an Imperial battle station.
I know, and I love the scene where he's trying to prevent the glass from breaking, and no water gets through that door, like not one drop.
Yeah,
it's like no, it's not possible.
Well, what happens when the water is made of computer graphics?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get wet.
Yeah,
but apparently they were planning on just one season, but I think this show, from what I've heard, is one of the biggest grossing shows for them right now, or most popular show, I should say, right now. So they're thinking of doing a sequel, like another season. So
it's just going to be Obi-Wan like eating bizarre food in a caves for 15 years. I mean, it is kind of interesting that like if that's where he landed after the events of the prequels, what was he doing on Tatooine? Or like he would have literally just been on Tatooine, hanging out with Jawas, avoiding sand people, or spooking them off with a weird dance.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot there to really do much, to make much of a story with.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's such a boring life just to be watching over that kid the whole time.
Yeah, I liked when they showed Luke for a second and he was like pretending he was in a pod racer.
Yeah, of course.
It's like it didn't exist yet, but okay.
The pod racers existed.
They did technically, but it's like that was something that they invented well after the old movies were. They obviously in the timeline, yes, they existed, but it's just kind of.
I mean, he's probably never seen one. Maybe he's just pretending he was on a starship.
Well, I'm pretty sure didn't Anakin also come from Tatooine?
I think that might have been
family there. That's why the uncle and everything is there, because they were from Tatooine.
I think that was a different sand planet as well.
All right, now you're gonna make me look it up.
Anakin, where was Anakin Skywalker born? Planet of Tatooine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It all happens on Tatooine.
A virgin's in the Force. He was a miracle baby.
I just typed where is Ray from, and it came up with Seattle, Washington. What planet is Ray from? I think you're right about the Ray one. Jakku.
Jakku, yes. Jakku.
Yeah.
1/4 portion. I just spit everywhere.
All the same accents and all the same creatures from Tatooine, but hey,
You know what I find annoying about Star Wars these days too is like, I want to be in a Star Wars movie. All these celebrities that are just like, let me be a voice actor. Let me put me in a stormtrooper thing and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like Flea.
I know. I saw Flea and I was like, okay.
Flea's in this.
You know nothing, Lebowski.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, good Kumail guy. He's pretty funny though.
I like him, yeah.
He was actually really good in Murderville. I loved his episode.
He was good.
I love it when they try to hold back the laughter in that show. It's good.
Well, and Will Arnett is just like a master of like rolling with whatever's happening.
Yeah, it's amazing. He barely breaks during that show.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we got some fun stuff going on in this show. It's not amazing. It's not like blowing me away, but I'm enjoying it. I love seeing more Obi-Wan. I know a lot of fans were looking forward to this. I've been enjoying it. Look forward to see how they wrap it up, because it's kind of, you don't know where it's going. I mean, I guess that's kind of a neat thing about it. You don't know what's going to happen next.
He saves Leia and doesn't die, doesn't kill Darth Vader. I know those facts.
Yeah, we know the grand facts.
We know the major plot points.
the overarching plots. But who knows what will happen next? Will we see somebody from the other Star Wars movies? Will we see R2-D2 being made?
Who knows?
In the bathroom?
Maybe the third sister is actually a droid.
We haven't even seen any action from those guys.
What guys?
Like the other Inquisitors.
Oh yeah,
they have those cool weapons that can like rotate and spin. I mean, he used it once and then he kills somebody off screen, but
yeah,
what can you do?
She doesn't have one of those. She's like the only one who doesn't have one.
She has a normal one, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's able to block snow speeder blasters, which also those are snow speeders. What are they doing flying around? I mean, come on.
That was a little bizarre.
Yeah, it was odd. I don't know if those things are supposed to fly that high.
I don't know either.
They could only be implemented on Hoth. Do you understand?
Yeah. Manufactured and used only on Hoth.
Yeah. Warning, do not use in space.
Will implode.
Yeah. Yeah, she's able to like block some of those. I'm like, those are like more powerful, okay? We're not talking little blasters here.
never been done before. I don't know if I believe it.
It's tough. I don't
I
get
might
it.
say she's ruining Star Wars.
She might. She might. I might have to message her on Instagram.
Yeah, we should take this to real world where you can be insensitive about an individual's career choices. Have nothing to do with you.
You're not Obi-Wan. Yeah, some minor gripes here and there, but
Yeah, it's a fun show. I mean, I'm
pretty
having
fun.
fun watching it. I'm curious to see where they go with it. I think that, it'll certainly be better than Book of Boba Fett, which is
Oh
probably
man, that
the
was
worst
such a
thing I've ever seen.
bore. Sorry, what?
I was just saying is the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, that
But
was
it's
rough. They
boring.
just
It's really
couldn't.
bad.
They couldn't get it with that one.
Yeah, it didn't. The only thing that were good about it were the Mandalorian tie-ins.
Yes, that was fun. Even that was kind of underwhelming for me.
Yeah.
He showed up. I'm like, you guys suck. You're not even good.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see where it goes. Ewan McGregor is amazing in everything the guy does. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a single thing he's done that has not been top notch.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He does a good job. He does good movies.
Yeah. So
Stay tuned for the final 2 episodes, I guess. There's only 5 and 6 left. Is that right?
Yeah. So maybe we do 5 and 6. Maybe we watch those and then just do like a conclusion on it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to watch them, and we will definitely be back to tell you guys all about it. So like and prescribe.
Prescribe to subscribe,
As they say, and listen to us in podcast form wherever you listen.
Because otherwise you'll have to see our ugly faces, and that's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. We look like monsters.
We're old and have bad opinions. What are we doing next? Stranger Things, maybe?
We could do Stranger Things. I got Miss Marvel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we both watched Miss Marvel.
I feel like there's something else that I can't remember. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's also stuff that we have on backlog. Like, I'd love to talk about Alita, Battle Angel.
Oh, I love that movie.
Ash versus the Evil Dead, but I should finish that first. I'm still working on that. So, but probably Stranger Things would be next.
Cool. All right, everybody. See you next time.
See ya. Take care.